The Vicomte de Bragelonne, the D'Artagnan series, Part 3, by Alexandre Dumas. Read by Bryan Godwin. Chapter 1. The Letter. Towards the middle of the month of May, in the year 1660, at 9 o'clock in the morning, when the sun, already high in the heavens, was fast absorbing the dew from the ramparts of the castle of Blois, a little cavalcade, composed of 3 men and 2 pages, re-entered the city by the bridge, without producing any other effect upon the passengers of the quay beyond a first movement of the hand to the head, as a salute, and second movement of the tongue to express in the purest French then spoken in France, "There is Monsieur returning from hunting," and that was all. Whilst, however, the horses were climbing the steep acclivity which leads from the river to the castle, several shop-boys approached the last horse, from whose saddle-bow a number of birds were suspended by the beak. On seeing this, the inquisitive youths manifested with rustic freedom their contempt for such paltry sport, and after a dissertation among themselves upon the disadvantages of hawking, they returned to their occupations. One only of the curious party, a stout, stubby, cheerful lad, having demanded how it was that Monsieur, who from his great revenues had it in his power to amuse himself so much better, could be satisfied with such mean diversions. "Do you not know," one of the standers-by replied, "that Monsieur's principal amusement is to weary himself?" The light-hearted boy shrugged his shoulders with a gesture which said as clear as day, "In that case, I would rather be plain Jack than a prince," and all resumed their labors. In the meanwhile, Monsieur continued his route with an air at once so melancholy and so majestic that he certainly would have attracted the attention of spectators, if spectators there had been. But the good citizens of Blois could not pardon Monsieur for having chosen their gay city for an abode in which to indulge melancholy at his ease, and as often as they caught a glimpse of the illustrious ennuyé, they stole away gaping, or drew back their heads into the interior of the dwellings, to escape the soporific influence of that long pale face, of those watery eyes, and that languid address, so that the worthy prince was almost certain to find the streets deserted whenever he chanced to pass through them. Now on the part of the citizens of Blois this was a culpable piece of disrespect, for Monsieur was, after the king, nay, even perhaps before the king, the greatest noble of the kingdom. In fact, God, who had granted to Louis IX, then reigning, the honor of being son of Louis VIII, had granted to Monsieur the honor of being son of Henry IV. It was not then, or at least it ought not to have been, a trifling source of pride for the city of Blois, that Gaston of Orleans had chosen it as his residence, and held his court in the ancient castle of the States. But it was the destiny of this great prince to excite the attention and admiration of the public in a very modified degree wherever he might be. Monsieur had fallen into the situation by habit. It was not, perhaps, this which gave him that air of listlessness. Monsieur had already been tolerably busy in the course of his life. A man can...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?